Hey, what's up, everyone? So quick video here um, on how to pick the right friends, not just friends, but people in your life. How to pick the right people in your life. Could be relationship, it could be people you work with. Sometimes you're not going to have much choice over this, okay? And if that's the case, you go back to what I talk about in the past about creating the right amount of distance between people to maintain healthy relationships. But this is about more picking your friends. This is when you have choice and you have the opportunity to choose who you're going to spend time with. And we actually have a lot more power than we think we do, than we realize we do. So for me, I have been learning recently more and more that a good measure. Um, yeah, I got a bruise on my eye from jujitsu. Anyway, um, yeah, really good way to tell if you're surrounding yourself with the right people is it's very simple, but it's when you feel happier. Not when you feel happier when you're with this person, but when this person's presence in your life makes you a happier person or yeah, helps you to be a happier person. Energizes you in some way, strengthens your life in some way. And yes, I know that there's the argument that people who hurt us, who irritate us, who drain us, also you can view them as strengthening you in a certain way. But there's plenty of people in our lives that do that. It's nice to actually have friends that do the opposite. There are plenty of things in this world that are going to drain us, irritate us, hurt us, weaken us. So having a good wolf pack group of friends or a group of people, doesn't have to be friends, it can involve your family, doesn't have to be a big wolf pack. It can be one or two people. It can just be one person, you know? It can be less than five, okay? A good strong wolf pack is when you have people in your life that you're energizing them in some way, they're energizing you. The ultimate result that you want to look for or write down is this person's presence in your life strengthening your life? Are you a happier person because you know this person? Okay? I'll give you a couple of examples recently for me that have shown up in my life. Um, I'll start off with one person who just has constantly, consistently been really cool, very respectful. Respect is always the first thing, and very important. I want to stress on this regarding this video of how to pick friends or pick people in your life. Respect has to come first, in my opinion. Respect is the most important thing. We can argue about love and all of this, but for me, it's respect. Okay? Because at the end of the day, Adolf Hitler, I'm sure, loved what he was doing, loved his way of life, loved his friends, you know, believed what he was doing was right. Okay? But he didn't respect a lot of people. So, in my opinion, respect comes first. Okay? Everything can grow out of respect. But respect is so important. So, we're all different. You're never going to find someone who's identical to you. Sure, you're going to find people more compatible, but even when you see people, and I've said this before, who are best friends, and you might think in your head, wow, they're so like two peas in a pod, they're like perfect for each other. They're not the same person. They're going to have differences. But great friendships often start off with a decision that two people make. They just decide to be friends. They decide, I'm going to be, I pick you to be my friend. Okay, and respect is very important. So going back to my example, there's been a person, since I've been here in south of Thailand training, who I've known. I met him actually a couple of years ago, and this person has been consistently respectful, consistently a cool energy presence in my life. When I encounter him, and I'll just give you a very simple example of this person having a positive impact on my life. Is we usually hang out when he's like getting me to come to the gym to do extra training. Like, we usually do legs day, weights for the legs. So his presence in my life is improving my life. It's strengthening my life, physically strengthening me, mentally as well. Okay, so this is how you can make decisions on people in your life. Is this person helping me? Is this person strengthening me? Is this person's presence good, for my life? Or is this that, or we'll have the people that, compete against us, trying to pull us down, trying to, they might be friendly to us so that they can get somewhere else. Okay? And it's okay for people to be cool to you, because they want to perhaps, all this networking, and all this kind of stuff. It's okay as long as the respect remains. Some people, you might have something they want, and they're nice to you until they get to your level, and then when they get here, then they start turning their back on you, and they start disrespecting you. And we've got to be very mindful of these people, because they can drain, they can hurt, they can waste our time. Okay? At the end of the day, always, put yourself first, focusing on your goals, your journey first. But when picking the right people in your life, the best way to measure whether or not this person is a keeper, or someone that you don't need, is, are they strengthening you in some way? I personally, the type of person I am, is when one person takes one step towards me, in other words, does something kind to me, helps me in some way, shows respect. The type of person that I am, my principles are that when a person takes one step towards me in that way, I take two steps towards them. That's just the way that I am. It's one of my, I don't know, the way that I live. Okay, that's how I like to do things. But if someone disrespects me, or hurts me, or deceives me, or something like that, I usually tend to be quite unforgiving with how I deal with those people. I don't hurt them. I don't hit them back. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. I just simply cut them out of my life and continue to refocus on my life. Okay? Or ignore the part where I just said I cut them out of my life. Don't worry about doing that. Just focus, whatever energy was being focused on them, redivert that to back on your goals in your life. All right, and it's never going to be perfect. We're always going to, trust. It's important to trust. It's important to go into relationships with an open heart, to see the best in people. Okay, I was practicing this the other day. There's someone at my gym who really irritates me, and it's hard to see the best in this person. But even with that difficulty, I looked at him, looked in his face. I just tried to see the best. Try to see the best. And it makes such a huge impact. Makes a huge impact. Dissolves away the competitiveness and the negative energy, and it creates an atmosphere of support, mutual respect. Okay, so another example of someone who I identify now as someone good in my life is actually someone I see quite often who, just the other day I parked my bike, and he came over and he saw it, and, without saying anything, just came straight up. He's a local person, local Thai person who lives here, and just noticed that my front headlamp of my bike was broken, and he just fixed it. He just like, kind of knew what to do, got it in the. Okay, so this is an example of someone who is having a positive impact on my life. These are the type of people we want in our life. And, it sounds so simple to do, but if we're able to filter this in this way, then our life becomes enriched so quickly, you know. It's just that we need to have that focus, have that awareness, have this knowledge, have the strength, to let go of certain relationships and to divert our energy into others, that serve us more. Remember, people, at the end of the day, at the root of all of these teachings is keep and focus more on things that serve you, whether they're thoughts, food, activities, people, your environment, the city you live in, the job, your clothes. Focus on looking at everything in this way. Does this serve me? Does this help me, in any way? Or does this hurt me? Does this, drain me? But really, the only question you need to ask is this serving me? Is this helping me? Is this strengthening me? Is this energizing me? Is this making me a happier person? You don't want to be like, is this person making me happy when I'm with them? Because then when you're without them, then if you're miserable, then, I don't know. That could be more of an addictive relationship. But, is this person improving my life? Bringing more strength into my life, more peace into my life, more happiness. And that's it. That's all we have to do in life. We swim around until we hit something that hurts us. Then we move back and kind of like swim around until we find things that strengthen us and make us stronger. And sure, the things that hurt us are going to strengthen us as well. But have a balanced diet of the things that strengthen you and the things that hurt you and weaken you and drain you. Okay, have a balanced diet. The fact is that most of us have an 80% diet of things that hurt us, whether it's actual food, people we spend our time with, the thoughts we put our attention on, the activities that we do, whether it's watching too much porn, watching things that are maybe not helping us. It's like more satisfying our stimulations, more stimulating things, satisfying our need for stimulation. Yeah, we like to be stimulated. We like our senses to be stimulated, and humans have this desire for more and more. As we have something that stimulates us, we keep doing it, then we're no longer as stimulated, so we want more stimulation and more and more. And am I perfect? No. I have areas in my life where I am trying to work on this. Okay, but adding people into your life or allowing people into your life that strengthen you is really important. There's another person that comes to mind that I've allowed into my life that I enjoy spending so much time with, and we share knowledge with each other. We share knowledge. Whenever we talk, there's an exchange of information. We learn from each other. Not only that, but we motivate each other. We encourage each other. And that's, in my opinion, a great friendship is when you are motivating each other, you are supporting each other, you are energizing each other, strengthening each other, sharing knowledge, Yeah, it's not about taking from someone and moving on. It's about sharing. It's about an exchange. It's like almost like a barter system. Here's what I can offer you, and here's what they can offer as well. So it's an exchange. It's a sharing. Okay. So keep that in mind, and I don't want it to sound cold like this. What am I getting? What are you getting? It's not like that. It's you know, but respect comes first, you know. Love can grow out of a place of respect. Um, love is important. Using your common sense is important. Your mind is important too, not just your heart, your mind too. All right? Balance is always important. But yeah, I just want to wrap it up with how I started. Picking friends, picking the right people, people who strengthen you. Okay? So focus on that. Scan through all your friendships, all your relationships. Write them down. Write down all the relationships. And, write down, is this strengthening you? Is this weakening you? Is this a drain? Is this person a drain on you? It might even be family that are draining you. You have to be brave and, bold sometimes with making these decisions. And remember, it doesn't mean that you're going to be letting go of all these relationships that drain you or hurt you. No, maybe just more distance is enough. Don't have to completely let go of certain people, but you can create more distance. And actually, by creating that distance, sometimes you can train people. You can train people and teach them what it is to be in a relationship with you, what your expectations, what your standards are. You do that with distance. When people, let's say, are misbehaving or hurting or draining you, you create distance by focusing more on yourself, on your goals. And then if that person returns, then okay, see how it goes. Keep your distance, and perhaps it's up to you. You can decide to get closer and closer. But there's a game of it's not really a game. It's just a skill, an art of managing your relationships. Okay, so I hope it makes sense, and I hope this helps in some way. Having people in your life that strengthen you is so empowering.